July 16th, 1969. 3 American astronauts sit atop a 36-story skyscraper of pure fire, heading to the moon. It is mankind's greatest achievement. But, exactly 25 years earlier, that exact same technology wasn't carrying astronauts. It was carrying death. It was raining down on civilian streets, turning entire neighborhoods to ash in seconds. The mastermind behind both of these machines? The exact same man, Wernher von Braun. To America, he was a smiling, Disney-approved national hero who conquered space. To the rest of the world, he was an SS officer whose ambitions were built on the backs of slave labor. How did a man who built weapons for the most evil regime in human history end up with a National Medal of Science? The US government went to terrifying lengths to hide his dark past. And as you're about to see, the truth is far more sinister than anyone was ever supposed to find out. Wernher von Braun didn't originally want to build weapons. As a boy, he was obsessed with science fiction. He dreamed about Mars. By the age of 22, he was already a brilliant physicist who wanted nothing more than to pierce the heavens. But there was a problem. Rocket science was unbelievably expensive. And in 1930s Germany, there was only one organization willing to fund his dreams: the German military. They didn't care about Mars. They cared about destruction. They offered young Wernher everything he could ever want: unlimited funding, unlimited resources, the best laboratories in the world. But there was one condition. He had to build them a superweapon, and Wernher von Braun accepted. A classic deal with the devil. Von Braun later justified it by saying, "Space travel is worth any sacrifice." By 1942, he achieved the impossible. He created the V-2 rocket, the world's first long-range guided ballistic missile. It traveled at 5 times the speed of sound, so fast you couldn't hear it coming. You were either alive or instantly vaporized. Adolf Hitler was ecstatic. Von Braun was promoted to SS Major. Now he had everything: power, money, and the technology that could someday reach space. But then, he visited the factory where his rockets were actually being built, and what he saw there would become one of the darkest chapters in modern history. Hidden deep inside a mountain, away from Allied bombers, was the Mittelwerk factory. This was not a normal manufacturing plant. It was a concentration camp. Tens of thousands of slave laborers were forced to build von Braun's rockets under brutal conditions. They worked in complete darkness, breathing toxic dust. If they slowed down, they were beaten. If they sabotaged a rocket, they were executed. Some prisoners were hanged directly above the assembly lines, as a warning to everyone else. Think about that. The V-2 rocket became the only weapon in history that killed more people during production than it did in actual combat. Von Braun would later claim he knew nothing about the atrocities. He portrayed himself as an innocent scientist trapped by the regime. But eyewitness testimony told a different story. Prisoners later claimed von Braun personally requested slave laborers for his projects. In 1945, Germany was collapsing. The Soviet army closed in from the east. American forces advanced from the west. Von Braun understood exactly what this meant. If the Soviets captured him, he could be executed. If the Americans captured him, he could face war crimes charges. So he made a decision. Von Braun gathered all top scientists of Germany and disappeared into the mountains. They hid boxes of V2 blueprints inside abandoned mine shafts. All scientists were running for their lives. But von Braun wasn't planning to hide forever. He was planning to sell himself to the highest bidder, the America. A month later, when American forces finally tracked him down, Wernher von Braun didn't behave like a defeated enemy. He behaved like a man who knew he was valuable. And he was. By 1946, a new conflict was already taking shape. The Cold War had begun. The United States and the Soviet Union were racing to seize the future, and that future would be powered by rockets. President Harry S. Truman had officially banned active Nazis from entering America. But behind closed doors, military intelligence made a different decision. They launched a secret program known as Operation Paperclip. Its mission was astonishingly simple: find Germany's best scientists, erase their Nazi connections, rewrite their records, and bring them to America before the Soviets could. Only months after Nazi concentration camps were liberated, von Braun and his team arrived in the United States. Von Braun and his team were living comfortably in Texas and Alabama. The U.S. government gave them homes, citizenship, high-paying jobs, and completely new identities. The man who had built Hitler's rockets was now building America's future, and the darkest chapters of his past were locked away inside classified government files. Suddenly, the former SS major became a celebrity in America. He appeared on television, worked with Walt Disney, explained space travel to millions of children. He was charming, brilliant, and deeply patriotic toward his new country. To Americans, he looked like the perfect hero, but the ghosts of his past were still there, waiting, and soon, America would need him more than ever. Beginning of 1961, President John F. Kennedy announced the impossible. America would land a man on the moon before the decade ended. To lead this mission, NASA chose one man, Wernher von Braun. Von Braun designed the Saturn V rocket, 363 feet tall, generating 7.5 million pounds of thrust, one of the most powerful machines ever built. But look closely. The Saturn V was not entirely new technology. It was the direct descendant of the V2 rocket. The same engineering once used to terrorize cities was now carrying astronauts toward the moon. July 20th, 1969, the impossible became reality. America reached the moon. The United States had won the space race. Crowds flooded the streets of Huntsville, Alabama. They lifted Wernher von Braun onto their shoulders, celebrating him as a conquering hero. He had finally achieved his childhood dream. He had reached the stars. But history has a way of refusing to stay buried. As the years passed, Operation Paperclip slowly became public. Journalists began investigating. Government documents were declassified, and the world was forced to confront a horrifying moral question. Wernher von Braun died in 1977. He died as one of the most celebrated scientists in America, respected by millions, honored for his achievements. On his gravestone, he chose a verse from the Bible: "The heavens declare the glory of God." But did the heavens forgive the hell created on earth? Without von Braun, humanity might never have reached the moon in the 20th century. His genius is undeniable, but that genius came at a horrifying cost. And it leaves us with one chilling question. Is human progress worth sacrificing our humanity? Can greatness ever be separated from the evil that created it? Was Wernher von Braun a visionary who used an evil regime to reach the stars? Or was he a war criminal who sold his soul for funding?